Apparently, Caitlin Clark has changed her own front office in addition to the league. There are rumors circulating that Clark has subtly pushed Indiana management to retain two of her closest allies, Sophie Cunningham and Lexie Hull, at all costs. The crazy aspect is that it was successful. For you, a question. Is Clark going too far as a player, in your opinion, or is she justified in using her influence in this way? First, let's talk about the shock that went viral on social media this week. We've been hearing for weeks that Lexie Hull was finished in Indiana. Farewell postings, heartfelt farewells, and rumors that she had already begun packing for a different squad. As it happens, that report was entirely made up and based on clickbait and half quotes. As we now know, Caitlin Clark intervened to ensure that Sophie Cunningham and Lexie Hull remained together. Clark reportedly went to Fever management and made it obvious that these two are not permitted, according to several sources. She desires their return. Next season, she wants stability and to be on the floor with the individuals she can trust. What do you know? She is correct. Let's be truthful. For this franchise, Clark's second year is crucial. Her influence and the rapport she developed with girls like Lexie and Sophie were key factors in the Fever's transformation from bottom feeders to a semifinal squad. It is visible on the court. It feels natural every time Sophie smashes the glass for a putback or Clark drives and kicks a hole for a corner three. You can't purchase that chemistry at free agency rates.
All right, let's get some things in order. Who is ESPN predicting to leave the Indiana Fever in free agency? Who are they predicting to leave all of these teams? This is the most free agents in WNBA history. Everybody is trying to cash in on this new CBA. We got to figure out who is about to be leaving Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, along with some of the other teams. I think there are a few players that are going to be demanding.
However, because Caitlin Clark's efforts to keep Friends from being cut sell better than Fever's, which has the same limited free agency rights as all other teams, the media turned it into a soap opera. Let's dispel the misunderstanding now. One restricted free agent is Lexie Hull. Indiana is therefore in charge of her future. Any offer sheet that another team sends her can be matched by them. She never bid farewell. Since that's what all players say before talks begin, she claims she wasn't sure. However, it was Caitlin Clark's response that made all the difference. She only left 3 comments when she went public on Lex's post. I am really proud of you. It wasn't a farewell. It served as a signal, a subliminal message that I understand you. And believe me, the front desk in Indiana noticed it. Because you can be sure that the ownership pays attention if Clark publicly supports someone. This is no longer 2023. Caitlin Clark is more than just a participant. Her brand is worth millions of dollars. Just as important as the coach's board is her voice. Let's now discuss the real significance of this. Although they don't have the most points on the table, Sophie Cunningham and Lexie Hull are the ones who provide loyalty and edge. The things that held this squad together when half of its players were hurt.
It's very uncertain for the entire league in general, but you're a free agent for the first time. Have you thought about what free agency might look like for you if you'd like to be back?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a restricted free agent, so I think that changes things a little bit, but I've loved my years here in Indiana. So obviously with a lot of uncertainty, you don't know what's to come, but I've built a life here, and I love this franchise. I love the people, I love the fans, so we'll see what comes. Elliot?
Sophie took the lead in press conferences after Clark suffered a setback late in the season, standing up for her and maintaining composure in the locker room. Clark continued to feed Lexie the ball until she hit after she had a difficult shooting night. You can't fake that kind of trust. Why would Indiana even take the chance of losing them? Then, cash. It's as easy as that. The Fever's salary limit is tight and half of their bench will be available for free agency as the offseason approaches. They are unable to compensate everyone, but they also cannot afford to annoy the player who restored their franchise from obscurity. And it is Caitlin Clark's strength. The team pays attention if she requests that someone be protected. For a period, this is the same franchise that once relied on long-term planning and analysis when making judgments. They now create them according to what makes number 22 happy. And to be honest, that isn't even a negative thing. You build around a generational player's vision when she sells jerseys, fills stadiums, and receives national TV slots. She has earned it, not because she is requesting it. Not to mention that the Fever were in disarray prior to her arrival. They required more than just a point guard. They required a leader with a following who could make management take notice once more.
Really, really good. Actually, I'm just actually really motivated. And I think I'm at a really good spot in my life where like, I'm just excited to just like pour into my body, pour into things that I enjoy. And I'm just so excited for this upcoming season because I don't know where I'm going to be. And I just feel like in the W, your golden years, I would say, is anywhere from 28 to 34.
That was brought by Clark. Therefore, it's more than simply a player requesting something when she draws management away and declares, "I want Sophie and Lexie back." It's emotion. Here's the reality for anyone who believes she is going too far. This occurs everywhere. Superstars have an impact on rosters. It's LeBron James, that it's Steph Curry. It's AJ Wilson. You have a say in who is on your team if you are the reason the lights remain on. The distinction is that Caitlin Clark is outperforming all previous WNBA players in terms of age and speed. This is the point at which the story becomes even more intense. Many insiders claim that the Fever had already decided not to match Lex's next contract offer in order to save money this offseason. Other teams that recognized her as a defensive specialist off the bench were expected to make bids for her. However, things changed when Clark's camp learned of that. Management was suddenly weighing their choices. The media maelstrom followed. There have been rumors that Clark met privately with general manager Amber Cox to discuss her key preferences and player compatibility, and the tone changed after a week. The same executives who were prepared to let Lexie go are now discussing rewarding chemistry and maintaining continuity. In other words, Clark received what she desired. And Lexie wasn't the only one. According to sources, Sophie Cunningham, who came under fire for her candid remarks, was also targeted following the WNBA warning incident. According to reports, the front office was prepared to sever ties in order to prevent distractions. Then Clark arrived. She intervened once more and stated unequivocally that she also wanted Sophie back. Yes, exactly. Clark herself is now backing the player who was being abused online for standing up for Clark. That is the hallmark of true loyalty. And management is now under control because of that loyalty. Because this is the problem. After everything Sophie accomplished for Clark, it would have been a PR catastrophe if the Fever had truly allowed her to go. It would have been viewed as a betrayal by fans. The player who physically defended your franchise hero during the pandemonium on the court is someone you can't let go of. You can't gain your fans' trust that way. Therefore, Clark's action was not only wise, but also required. She prevented the Fever from making a poor choice of their own and from facing more criticism from the media. This team doesn't need any more bad press. Let's face it. It requires consistency, stability, and the kind of locker room vibe that focuses players' attention on winning rather than on controversy. And that's precisely what the chemistry between Clark, Sophie, and Lexie is. They counterbalance one another. Sophie's bravery, Clark's fire, and Lex's composed defense. They were able to do better than expected during the season because of that combination. Therefore, no, friendship or preferences are not at issue here. Winning is the goal. Furthermore, Caitlin Clark is well aware of the requirements for success. This is where the situation becomes even more intriguing. Caitlin Clark's recent actions went beyond merely rescuing comrades. It is a message to the WNBA as a whole. "You protect my circle if you want to win with me," she essentially declared. And the league was strongly affected by that message. Don't get me wrong. This wasn't a minor request for a locker room. This was an overt act of power. At this time, Clark's voice is heard more often than half of the boardroom combined. From now on, every choice Indiana makes, trades, signings, marketing, is subject to one question. What impact does this have on Caitlin? And to be honest, it ought to be that way. A generational player shouldn't be treated like a haphazard roster addition. You handle her as though she were the cornerstone. The house is constructed around her. And this move demonstrates that. Clark is currently in charge of planning Indiana's future. Let's be honest now. Half of the internet went crazy when they first learned that she had intervened to save Sophie and Lexie. According to some, it was favoritism. She was being overly controlling, according to others. Here's the problem, though. The upheaval this club endured during the previous season is forgotten by the same people. Due to injuries, half of the roster was in and out. It was a circus, the media, the league was always watching her. Despite being jeered on the road and thrashed on the court, she continued to play, making three-pointers and leading her team to the postseason. Without support from others, you can't make it through that kind of season. For Clark, such individuals were Lexie and Sophie. When everyone else was quiet, Sophie was the first to speak. She retaliated when detractors made flimsy accusations. She was the one who was prepared to throw elbows when Clark got fouled hard. Loyalty like that is not overlooked. And the glue is Lexie, quiet, reliable, and composed under duress. Every star needs a player like this on their side. She wins games by doing all the little things that don't make highlight reels. She defends several places, spaces the floor, and never grumbles about her job. That chemistry cannot be substituted with a random free agent. Caitlin Clark is the best person to understand that trust cannot be exchanged. In other words, she made sure the crew didn't tamper with the formula by using her influence. That is leadership, it is not ego. And if Indiana is astute, they will follow the cue. Since the Fever have historically struggled to maintain momentum, let's face it, one season they'll make headway, and the next they'll blow it up. They are forced to break that habit by Clark's transfer. She is saying, stop rebuilding every 6 months by supporting Sophie and Lexie. Begin creating something durable. And championship teams do precisely that. The timing is a further aspect of this event that hasn't received enough attention from the media. All of this is taking place just before one of the WNBA's most unpredictable off-seasons ever. Everyone is preparing for what may be a contentious discussion as the collective bargaining agreement approaches its expiration. Players are anxious about a possible lockout in 2026. Nobody wants to be stuck on a team that doesn't appreciate them or left dangling without a deal. Clark's act of loyalty therefore strikes a different chord. She is communicating with the other members of the roster. I'll stand up for you if you're faithful to me. That matters in a league where players frequently feel like throwaway items. And it's historic for a young superstar to already have that type of appeal. Early in their careers, even seasoned professionals like Breanna Stewart and A.A. Wilson did not have that much influence. There is more to Clark's reach than just her numbers. It has to do with her influence. People pay attention to her when she speaks. Her fans move when she posts. Ownership takes action in response to her demands. She is developing into the type of player the WNBA has never had before, which is incredible to consider. A celebrity with a large enough following to influence choices.